Hello, we are excited to present to the Board of Home Depot on the issue of ocean sustainability regarding SDG 14. I'm Meryl.
I'm Kendall.
I'm Elon.
I'm Kaylin.
And I'm John, and together we represent a coalition of oceanside consumers, the EPA, and the Ocean Conservancy.
I'm going to begin by explaining who we are and why we're here. So we have built a coalition to ensure that Home Depot is doing its part to protect the environment, more specifically, its oceans. Although I am a representative of Oceanside customers, I will also speak on behalf of our other two stakeholders in this coalition, the EPA and the Ocean Conservancy Activist Group. The Oceanside customers are market stakeholders who support the UN Sustainable Development Goal 14, which will soon be explained. Our interests include maintaining healthy living conditions, ensuring the environment is protected, and fostering local area development. The EPA is our second stakeholder that comprises our coalition, and it supports this goal because it has the interest of fostering human as well as environmental health. The third group in our coalition is the Ocean Conservancy Activist Group. This non-market stakeholder has the interest in supporting long-term solutions for healthy oceans, wildlife, and coastal communities. While our reasons for supporting this initiative may vary, we have the shared goal of protecting the ocean, and this has allowed us to form natural relationships and coalesce. The combined power, legitimacy, and urgency of each group dramatically increases our relevancy to Home Depot.
In order to increase ocean sustainability, we recommend Home Depot take 4 actions. A 10-cent plastic bag tax, a decrease in price of reusable bags, the removal of 5 fertilizer lines, and a marketing campaign for organic fertilizer. The action items that we recommended today work towards achieving Sustainability Development Goal number 14, Life Below Water. Together, we will work to decrease fish endangerment, marine acidity, coastal water deterioration, and biodiversity areas. We can do this in a way that will advance the sustainable use and conservation of the oceans and further contribute to SDG 14.
We'd like to point out where Home Depot is already prioritizing their efforts in ocean pollution reduction. They have been very successful in greenhouse gas emission and waste reduction, as shown by these statistics. Greenhouse gas emission abatement is very important for the ocean because increased levels of CO2 contribute directly to ocean acidification. As they go into the ocean, levels of pH rise and threaten biodiversity and ecosystems. This occurs with increased levels of waste in the oceans as well that also contribute to harmful movement of chemicals. Additionally, we see similarities between Home Depot's contributions and its competitors like Lowe's. Overall, Home Depot's position on sustainability in general is positive and heavily embraced. Therefore, it makes sense that Home Depot's position on SDG 14 would be to embrace its goals. Working together will take Home Depot's actions to the next level and help affirm their stance on increasing ocean conservation.
The existence and proliferation of non-biodegradable plastic bags poses a major threat to life under the seas, not only in the short term, but for hundreds, if not thousands of years to come. Endangered sea species are far too commonly killed by consuming indigestible plastic bags, with estimates pointing to north of 1 million seabirds and hundreds of thousands of sea mammals perishing each year. The toxic BPA from plastic bags also invades our waters and the bodies of sea life, culminating in bioaccumulation, which feeds contaminants up the food chain, negatively impacting multiple types of sea life and alarmingly, even reaching the stomachs of coastal community citizens. Finally, bags end up littering coastlines, which can contain populations of 40 million people in the West Coast alone, not only proving unsightly to local communities and tourists, but precipitating in government spending of $520 million, according to the EPA. We recommend Home Depot work to eradicate this problem by implementing a novel, yet scientifically proven solution that considerably reduces the use of plastic bags by presenting a 10-cent tax per bag at checkout. This approach would disincentivize customers from using plastic and instead encourage customers to completely forgo the use of a bag or utilize an eco-friendly, reusable alternative. Success is likely, with previous implementation in California having resulted in a substantial 50% decrease in plastic's contribution to litter on Los Angeles beaches. Importantly, 5 cents of the surplus proceeds from charging for the plastic bags could be used to contribute to ocean cleaning initiatives, while the other roughly 5 cents could be taken as profit for Home Depot. Moreover, Home Depot can augment the efficacy of this undertaking by trimming the price of reusable bags by 20%, spurring usage of the sustainable bag alternative, and further distancing customers from plastic bags. Benefits to important shareholders are compelling and plentiful. First, our initiatives prove beneficial to the Ocean Conservancy and the EPA, as it is salubrious to oceans, ocean life, and citizens, and would save millions of lives and dollars. Initiatives would substantially contribute to the ocean-facing communities' greater health and well-being, as well as reinvigorate tourism and local economies. As we look to the other side, Home Depot would first bring in millions of dollars in profits. More importantly, the company would benefit by cementing itself as a pioneer of positive change in the eyes of the sustainability-supporting public, strengthening brand loyalty, drawing in new customers, and meaningfully differentiating itself from competitors. Importantly, environmentalists and communities could prove a very powerful champion and endorsement to Home Depot.
Given our recommendations, we think that there are some considerations for Home Depot to keep in mind. The decreased price in reusable bags could create tensions with competitors as stakeholders. The pricing war that could unfold, we don't see that as a huge problem, and one way to mitigate that risk would be to engage in discussions with competitors such as Lowe's. We can ensure that the whole industry is on the same page in reducing the price of reusable bags. Another potential consideration for Home Depot to keep in mind is a possible tension with consumers who may not appreciate an increased price associated with the plastic bag. However, this will not be a huge problem as sustainability is popular. Consumers want to feel good about buying products that help the environment, and by purchasing at Home Depot, they'll be able to do so. This in turn could ultimately increase Home Depot's sales. Another potential tension could be with shareholders who don't see the long-term value of reducing the price of reusable bags. However, as just mentioned, we think that our sustainability measures will ultimately increase profitability in the long term, thus decreasing the tension associated with shareholders.
Home Depot could additionally offset ocean pollution by rethinking fertilizer sales. Fertilizer runoff is one of the major contributors to ocean pollution. As rainwater falls, unabsorbed fertilizer from soil flows from lawns, farms, and other treated areas into rivers and streams. Common elements in fertilizers, particularly nitrogen and phosphorus, flow from these bodies of water into open oceans, where they play a key role in the development of algal blooms. Algal blooms represent the rapid growth of photosynthetic organisms. Algae releases toxins poisonous to marine life, impairing animals' cell functions and altering nervous system gene expressions, while simultaneously reducing ocean oxygen levels. Toxins additionally pose a threat to human health when people consume seafood from regions affected by algal blooms and affect economic well-being of coastal regions through lower property values and declining tourism. We've identified 5 Home Depot fertilizers containing some of the highest levels of nitrogen and phosphorus on the market, with nitrogen levels above 30%, and recommend removing these 5 fertilizers from all stores. These 5 products are pictured below. In addition, we recommend implementing a marketing campaign to increase awareness and sales of organic fertilizers with lower levels of nitrogen and phosphorus. Our marketing strategy hinges on placing organic fertilizers near gardening checkout lines at Home Depots and assembling educational signs describing these products' benefits to customers. We are not asking Home Depot to make major changes. We're simply asking the company to take small, effective measures to combat ocean pollution. Reducing eutrophication via sustainable fertilizers would appeal to the Ocean Conservancy and the oceanside customer interests for healthy coastal communities. The EPA attributes the unpleasant sight and odor of algal blooms to lower tourism and waterfront property values in coastal regions. Water free of fertilizer would reinvigorate ocean ecosystems, boost coastal tourism, and raise oceanfront property values. As for the EPA's interests, reducing fertilizer runoff improves human and ocean health. The National Institute of Environmental Health Scientists found that harmful algal blooms can cause paralysis and even death in humans after exposure to shellfish affected by algae. Minimizing eutrophication will result in healthier ecosystems, safer seafood products, and reduce human exposure to contaminants through their skin. Looking at Home Depot's benefits, this initiative increases product stewardship through mitigating hazardous waste produced by the company and captures a sizable consumer audience offering sustainable brands. This effort would additionally lower the risk of violating runoff laws, which Home Depot has been fined for before.
We anticipate that you might have some questions or considerations regarding our proposal. I will proceed by addressing potential tensions with consumers. Although consumers may poorly respond to the decreased product selection, they will still have 40 other non-organic products from Scott's brand alone. More, the proposed products to dismiss aren't Home Depot's top sellers, so they wouldn't have a large negative impact on consumers. With regard to tensions with suppliers, we also see an immense potential upside. While they may not be pleased with the shift in sourcing that will affect the supply chain, this will give Home Depot the opportunity to strengthen relationships with suppliers who produce organic fertilizers. Moreover, it will pressure these suppliers to start increasing their supply of organic fertilizers and create a multiplying effect.
At the end of the day, we're all on the same team. As a coalition, we want to work with the Board of Home Depot to implement SDG 14. We can provide our diverse perspectives and unique backgrounds in order to help achieve this goal. For example, the EPA can use their political power associated with holding companies responsible to regulation. Oceanside customers can use their economic power associated with boycotting other companies that are not being sustainable. Ocean Conservancy can use their informational power associated with knowing how to implement these changes in a way that will be most beneficial for the environment. Together, we have the greatest combined saliency. The EPA provides one of the highest senses of influence due to their ability to implement change. Oceanside customers have great urgency because their day-to-day lives are affected by these problems. Ocean Conservancy has significant legitimacy that's associated with having one of the largest backings. They have 13 million volunteers.
We look forward to working with you going forward. Thank you for listening.
Home Depot. More saving.
The environment.
More doing.
Ocean conservation.
That's the power of Home Depot.